In less than a year, the United States will hold its presidential election, and discussions about its outcome are gradually intensifying. What are the chances for President Biden's re-election? In this video, we will delve into this topic. Stay tuned. According to the Code of the United States, the Tuesday next after the first Monday in November is designated as Election Day. Therefore, for the year 2024, November 5th has been set for the presidential election. We've previously covered the presidential election process in the US in a separate video that delves into the country's political system. In summary, unlike most democracies, the president in the United States isn't directly elected through a popular vote. Instead, this responsibility falls upon the Electoral College. There are 538 electoral votes allocated among states based on their population. And the winner of the election in a state, with the exception of Nebraska and Maine, takes all the electoral votes. However, not all states in the US exhibit competitive elections. Based on historical voting patterns and current polls, the outcomes in many states are largely predetermined. Hence, to track the US presidential elections effectively, it's enough to focus on the results in approximately 10 to 15 states. Discussing the potential election outcome at this stage is premature. Over the upcoming 11 months, numerous developments could occur, influencing voters' opinions. Moreover, the final candidate for the election has yet to be selected. Still, certain factors can be considered to grasp the prevailing trends and enhance the accuracy of our future predictions. The primary consideration for predicting President Biden's chances for re-election is his approval rating, which currently stands at less than 40%. This appears unpromising, and the situation worsens when comparing his approval rates with those of former presidents at the end of their third year in office. Dating back to 1953, Biden's rating is the lowest recorded. It's noteworthy that 4 of these former presidents who had similarly low approval ratings failed in their re-election bids. Therefore, the situation for Biden seems far from favorable in this regard. It's important to note, however, that favorability ratings for other potential candidates aren't any better. Donald Trump, the leading figure among Republicans, holds a rating that's almost the same as Biden's. Meanwhile, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley's favorability ratings are even worse than those of Biden and Trump. Nevertheless, they hold a comparatively lower level of unfavorability among voters, potentially aiding them on election day. This is significant since, based on past experiences, not just favorability but also unfavorability of rivals play a role in motivating voters to cast their ballots. Another crucial element for understanding the situation is the nationwide opinion polls in the United States. While nationwide popularity isn't a determining factor due to the unique nature of the US presidential election, historically 5 individuals have become presidents despite losing the popular vote. It does provide valuable insights. This difference between popular votes and electoral votes largely stems from the margins of victory in different states. For instance, in the 2020 election, Biden secured California with a margin of more than 5 million votes, whereas Trump's largest winning margin was in Tennessee with 700,000 votes. Consequently, for the Democratic candidate to secure the presidential victory, they would typically require at least a 5% lead in the popular vote. Numerous institutes conduct polls, each varying in their level of reliability. For our analysis, we're utilizing polling aggregation from realclearpolitics.com. Presently, 3 Republican candidates stand out with higher prospects to become the final candidate for their party: Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, and Ron DeSantis. If Biden were to face Trump today, Trump would hold approximately a 2% lead at the national level. In alternative scenarios, Haley leads by more than 5%, while DeSantis maintains a lead of less than 1%. Considering that polls often display a left-wing inclination and tend to underestimate right-wing candidates who frequently outperform the polls, the situation appears even more unfavorable for Biden. The final yet most pivotal and accurate factor to consider is the statewide opinion polling. As previously mentioned, not all states host competitive elections, and in several, the outcome is largely predetermined. Currently, Democrats can rely on 191 safe electoral votes, whereas Republicans hold 121. Additionally, there are 30 likely electoral votes for the Democrats compared to 97 for Republicans. Consequently, with caution, it can be suggested that regardless of the final candidates, Democrats already have 221 electoral votes secured, while Republicans possess 218. The remaining 99 votes represent the battleground for the two parties and their nominees for the 2024 election. Given the considerable distance to Election Day and the limited number of polls available at this stage, analyzing the current polls still provides valuable insights into the evolving electoral landscape. Now let's explore three hypothetical scenarios for Election Day: Biden versus Trump, Biden versus Haley, and Biden versus DeSantis. In a hypothetical election held today between Biden and Trump, the projected result could be 293 electoral votes for Trump and 245 votes for Biden. In the case of a face-off between Biden and Haley, the anticipated outcome might be 316 electoral votes for Haley and 222 for Biden. Lastly, in the third scenario, the anticipated result could be 296 electoral votes for DeSantis and 242 for Biden. Although the differences between candidates in the battleground states often fall within the margin of error of polls, the future events over the next 11 months are likely to influence voters' opinions. The chance of Biden's re-election appears significantly low. There is one individual who could potentially alter the election's outcome: Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a long-lasting Democrat from the well-known Kennedy family. He initially expressed interest in competing in the Democratic primaries. However, his political views didn't resonate well among Democrats. Consequently, he withdrew from the Democratic primaries and announced his intent to run as an independent candidate in the 2024 election. Initially, Republicans welcomed this idea, but subsequent polls indicated that this move might actually backfire against them. Recent polls suggest that if Robert Kennedy appeared on the ballot alongside the Democratic and Republican nominees, the outcome would favor the Democrats. Kennedy's political views lack support among Democrats, while elements such as his anti-vaccine campaign and fondness for conspiracy theories are appealing to Republican voters. Therefore, he could potentially garner more supporters among Republicans than Democrats. Considering this scenario, Biden could potentially win key states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia. In such a scenario, the final election result would forecast 297 electoral votes for Biden and 241 votes for the Republican candidate. Based on the current polls and prevailing trends, Biden's chance for re-election appears unpromising, with the potential for victory only if Robert Kennedy Jr. enters the race. However, it's crucial to reiterate that polls, even in the days leading up to the election, aren't entirely accurate, and deviations from their projections have been observed in the past. Time is a significant factor, alongside numerous unforeseen events that will shape public opinion in the upcoming year. Considering that the final nominees for the major parties have yet to be confirmed, the candidates' conduct, particularly during debates, will play a pivotal role in aiding voters' decisions. For a more precise and accurate prediction, periodic reviews of every potential scenario will be necessary every few months. This ongoing analysis will be essential in understanding the evolving landscape and adjusting predictions accordingly. In this video, we've explored Biden's prospects for re-election in 2024. If you found this content informative, please like it and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear from you, so feel free to share your thoughts, comments, and ideas for future topic in the comment section. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.